By the way, where I am now is in Byron Bay. Behind me is, of course, Byron Bay Beach. I'm going to turn around here and just show you. Behind me there is the hotel I stay at. In fact, you could actually see my balcony from here. And right behind me, behind that tree, if you look at behind that big tree, we'll get closer, you'll see that what we have there is the Byron Bay Beach Hotel, which, my friends, has been sold again for recently, just been sold for $100 million. And what I can't get out of it is that they don't have any poker machines. So guys and girls, I'm just trying to find a spot here where I can put my tripod up, because today I'm going to talk to you about a subject that I think is super critical. Can I just ask you right now, Susan, if you could just tell me in the comments, is this noise a little bit better than before? Because I just want to sort of move to a spot where it's quiet. Okay. Move down here. That's right, $100 million. That pub got sold for $100 million. And that pub, my friends, got sold, get ready for it, with no poker machines. So, gang, let's move on to the topic. The topic today I want to talk to you about is what's going on with the fires across Australia. And one of the things that surprised me a lot is that a number of real estate gym members, and I'm very proud of them. I'm going to make mention to these people right now, right? I'm going to mention. Let me just open it up here. Zoran Bileski works in Bexley North, Crown Property. I think it's Bexley North, Crown Property. What's he been doing? He's been fighting the fires every day. Go on to Facebook and follow him. This guy's out there, got the uniform on, out there on the front line. Okay. Then we've got Christine Brown. Again, incredible effort. Susan, if you don't mind, tagging these people. Christine Brown as well, a firefighter. Now, before you jump in and say, hey, I want to go off and fight the fires as well, I've got to tell you, they won't just take you in, because, putting fires out and being there in the front line needs lots and lots of training and coaching, so you can't just show up. And the same with looking after animals. Kirsty Dutney, what has she been doing? Have a look at what this girl's been doing. She has been sitting there organising for food to get delivered to her office. And I'm going to talk about this in a moment, because this is a useful thing to do. What you do is you have food delivered to your office, and then that food is then taken to people that need it. Now, what are the sort of stuff that people like? Because I think one of the things you ought to do is be useful with the sort of things you're going to do. And if you can't donate money, if money's tight for you, right, there are other things you can be doing. And one of the things I'm going to suggest all real estate agents look at doing is become the community agent, which I preach in the real estate gym. And I've got to tell you, it nearly made me cry today when Susan said, Tom, there's 7 people I've been looking on social media that are doing things, and all 7 are real estate gym members. And I've got to tell you, that matters to me, because I've always said winners and good guys and good girls can actually happen at the same time. You don't have to be a shark to succeed in real estate. In fact, I'll say good guys and girls win. So, Kirsty Dutney, what is she doing? Getting stuff going in. Crown Real Estate, you can, Real Estate Riverlink Shopping Centre is where her office is, where you can actually have stuff delivered to. But this is an opportunity for everyone. Charles Garcia is doing it. Now, if you go to Charlie Garcia's Facebook page, now Charlie, if you're watching, you can also please type in how they can actually support Charles Garcia. He's got trucks leaving with stuff. What are the sort of stuff people want? Let me go through them. Clothes, toiletries, toothpaste, right? Toothbrushes, books and puzzles, nappies and baby wipes, non-perishable foods. What's that? What's a non-perishable food? Things like in cans, tuna, you know, and salmon, juices, like pop, not things out of a fridge, but pop juices, apple juices, bottled water. They're the sorts of things that is of use to people. Now, I'm going to say to you, as a real estate agent, think about it. You have a golden opportunity to support your community, right? And you're not going to do this to try and get profile out of it. You're going to do it because you have the opportunity to join your community together. Real estate people are geographic people that can bring communities together. And it might be as simple as doing a letterbox drop where you say to people, a bit like you do at Christmas, where people are coming in and giving in Christmas presents, right? What you do is you can do the same thing here and have a golden opportunity to actually do something for the community. And this can easily be done by doing a letterbox drop. People drop stuff in there. I'm going to tell you, there's a very good website called foodbank.org.au. Susan, do me a favor, please put that in there, foodbank.org.au. So if you can't help with money, what you can actually help is with the items that I've just gone through. Now, emotional support. Oh, by the way, let me just go through and just thank all those people that are doing things at the moment. Zion Balesti, Christine Brown, Andrea Tucker from Mollymook at McGrath. What is she doing? She's been able to sit there and coordinate with landlords of homes that are currently empty and get people to move into them. That's creative thinking. So well done to Andrea Tucker from McGrath, Mollymook, Ulladulla. Then you've got Gimme from out SSP, I think it is, out in the Geelong area. Outstanding work. I've just found out that I believe the McGrath Corporation, every real estate agent in the McGrath Corporation, or I think the company-owned offices, are putting in $100, and what will happen is that McGrath Proprietary Limited, I believe, now don't confirm it, this has come from a third party, is going to match it. And you know, Matt Steinway put on his social media platform that means January, February, it'll be close to a couple of $100,000 that will be actually donated. Yeah, so I think I've gone through all the people I need to go through there. But gang, all I'm going to say to you is in terms of emotional support. And by the way, there's suffering all around, right? You know, right now, look, this is a terrible thing. There's no question about it. But there are things that are far more worse in terms of loss of life that we see, you know? Like a lot of people, like so far I think there's been about 20 or 25 I think about 30 lives that have been lost through the bushfires. I mean, there are tragedies that we end up losing thousands of people. How are you, matey? I'm big just doing around. Yeah, big fan. Yeah. Come on in.
Yeah, buddy.
Where are you from?
Sunshine Coast.
Which real estate? Are you real estate?
Yeah.
Yeah, which one?
Countryside Noosa.
Beautiful.
In the Karoi area.
Mate, everyone's here in Byron Bay, the whole real estate crowd.
Massive respect.
Guys, what we're doing, I'm trying to raise a bit of awareness for the fire thing, you know? Of course, yeah. Things that people can do. Like one of the good ideas is you do a letterbox drop, people go in and drop food at the real estate office, and then they can get it trucked over to the necessary people.
Brilliant idea, mate.
Alrighty, gang. All right. Thanks for saying hi. See you. Absolutely. Alrighty, gang. Anyway, so let's move on. Guys and girls, couple of other things. On emotional support, let me just tell you, emotional support. And I've suffered. I've got people around me that have suffered. You know, cancer's affected my life significantly, right? And would you know that last year, 55,000 people in Australia died of cancer. Not diagnosis. There's plenty of those. Far more than 55. 55,000 died. In addition to that, there was maybe 4 to 5 times that in diagnosis. Many of them are terminal, that didn't die last year, that will probably die this year. So, here's my advice. If someone else is going through suffering at the moment, the last thing you say to them is, I know what you're going through. Because if you're not in the situation, you don't know what they're going through. So my advice is to say this. I can't imagine what you're going through, but I want you to understand I'm in your corner. And if there's something that you can think of that is useful or make things a little bit more bearable, please let me know. If you have got a relationship with someone, or you are talking to someone who's going through suffering, and this doesn't have to be people that are suffering due to the fires, people are suffering all the time, right? My advice is, if you know that they're suffering, you don't say, how's things or how's life? Because we sort of know that things aren't great. What you do is you narrow the time frame and you bring in a timeline and you say, how are things today? How are things today? Because when, and by the way, this is very good advice to anyone that goes through a trauma or a drama in their life. My advice is, whenever something shit's going down, out of your control, what you always do is you narrow the time frame. You don't think in weeks and hours and months. What you think of is in days. You think in hours, and you look for the slightest glimpse. You look for the slightest glimpse of happiness in an hour. Is there something positive that actually happened that morning, right? Couple of other things I want to touch on while we're here. This is also not a time, guys and girls, like you sit there and you hear various people on the sidelines make comments, Scott Morrison is to blame, policies are to blame, Israel Folau says, there's a higher being that's punishing people, whatever it is. Hey, bottom line is, be practical, be useful. A lot of people say, oh yeah, let's pray for them. Yes, hey, I'm a Christian, but I believe that a physical action is going to be something that's tangible, that is of use to people. Think of stuff that can be extremely useful. And guys and girls, apart from that, I'm letting you know it's getting a little bit dark. Susan's going to put a few links in there. I've got to say to you, if money is your thing, to me, there are two charities that I think, hey, legit, they don't skim too much off the top. They're properly organised and they've got great governance. The Red Shield Appeal, which is Salvo's, they're right behind what's going on. And St. Vincent's, the Vinnies. So they're the two that I've done a bit of research on, and I know from past experience and the time that they've got, that they've been operating, that you could say that they've got decent reputations. Guys and girls, it is a Sunday night rant, and this Sunday night rant has been used to highlight useful, practical things that people can do that work in the real estate industry. And I've got to say to you, I've just been pleasantly surprised today when I started having a look at some of the things that real estate agents are doing. I'm sort of affected a lot because the thousands of real estate gym members that I've got include members that are in regional and coastal areas that have been affected by the fires, and I can see the impact that it's had in their lives. But what I'd like to say to you is that whether it's emotional support, whether it's actually coming up with a letterbox strategy to get food delivered to you, whether it's actually sharing this video and getting another person to look at it and coming up with a creative idea of doing something. But the good news is the amount of lives that I've lost so far are nowhere near as high as it could have been. So congratulations to everyone that is contributing at the moment. And I want to remind people that might be watching this video right now that are going through a hard time, you've got to keep remembering that your current situation is not your final destination. I'm pleased to know that in most cases there's been insurance involved with properties. In most cases people haven't lost their lives, but nevertheless it's been a very traumatic period. I would like you all to press the share button to this video, because in this video, under the comments, Susan is going to put a number of links that are showing what creative things that people are doing to be useful. Guys and girls, on that note, I want to, sign off, and I'm going to let you know that tomorrow morning I'm doing a live stream rant in Byron Bay with Kate Strickland, who's one of the best real estate agents in Australasia. And Kate Strickland's from Marshall White. We're going to share with you 5 strategies to kickstart your 2020. And I'm also going to touch on the important RISE conference, which I think is critical. It's coming up with an app to help people in real estate who suffer from anxiety and depression. There have been a number of suicides over the last 1 or 2 years in real estate, and RISE is there to raise money to have an app which is in progress. It's quite advanced actually, and this app is going to allow real estate agents to download it and be a total resource where they can self-help themselves and take them to other resources to take the next step, because we clearly know that real estate, it's the highest paid hard work, it's the lowest paid easy work, but I can also tell you there's not many jobs that I know that on the first day of every month you've got a gun pointing to your head saying go get listings, make sales, or you won't eat. And that creates a lot of stress and anxiety in people's lives. A lot of stress and anxiety. And I know in my business that the pain and the insomnia and the pressure that is involved in this business, people reach out to me maybe because they know that I've had my own suffering in my own life. And all I can say to you is well done to the team at RISE who are raising money for that app. So guys and girls, I'm signing off.